High Level is a full CRM and marketing platform, and I've used some of the best in the SaaS industry.
You know who made it.
And we are live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. We've got X going and 2 other LinkedIn channels from our guests who we're getting ready to introduce you to. But before we get started, I want to tell you a little bit about Cherry Assistant, StreamYard, and High Level. So let me pull up some QR codes. So first of all, High Level, if you haven't heard of it, is a CRM and marketing automation platform. We've white labeled it here at Reveting as app.reveting.com. So if you are a marketing agency and you want to be able to give all of your clients their own CRM and marketing automation platform where you can easily get in, manage marketing, emails, automations, website, landing pages, that kind of stuff, then High Level might be a really great option for you. Also, if you're just a business looking for a replacement for HubSpot or some of these other more expensive tools, just scan this QR code or go to reveting.com/high level if you are tuning in on podcast and check out High Level. This is the affiliate link. So if you get started on my link, feel free to reach out to us, give us a call. We want to help make sure that you succeed. But if you sign up with Reveting, you will also get your own sub account, meaning you'll have your own CRM and marketing automation platform. So High Level, we'll be talking about them as well as Cherry Assistant tonight. Cherry Assistant is a VA placement company. Now, if you use this QR code or you go to their website at cherryassistant.com and you sign up for a virtual assistant, make sure that you let them know you heard about them through WinsDay for $250 off your first month. Now, what is a virtual assistant, you may ask? And there's 16 of you here. So if you're here tuning in, let us know that you're here by saying hello. I see Priyanshu. Hey, Priyanshu, what's up? Whoa, that's not a very nice comment. So that's not the Priyanshu I know. I'm going to ban that user and delete the comments. Okay. Normally I have someone in the background from Cherry Assistant helping me, but tonight I am doing it all alone. So if you put in bad comments, we're going to whatever. I don't know. That is pretty funny. Thank you. You can't even see my, my boobs. That's what that guy said. Anyway, whatever. There were 16 of you here. Let us know you're here by talking to us in the comments. Talk to us about where you're tuning in from. We also want to know, what is your job? What do you do for a living? Because this is a LinkedIn conversation. We're talking business. We're talking clear messaging, transformational relationships, strategy over execution, and collaboration. So if you're tuning in, let us know how all of that relates to you. But real quick, before I switch over, I want to tell you about one more brand, StreamYard. StreamYard is what we're live streaming from tonight. And if you have ever live streamed, then you know that you can't just do it on LinkedIn without a third-party platform. You can on Facebook, but that technology is not built into LinkedIn yet. And StreamYard is a preferred LinkedIn vendor. They have a full list. StreamYard and Restream are some of the more budget-friendly ones. We like StreamYard. It allows us to be super creative, add intro videos, all that fun stuff. But if you're interested in trying it, here's another QR code. Scan this one right here. This is our affiliate link for StreamYard. Again, if you sign up, I'm happy to help you. I'm seeing that people are signing up on my StreamYard affiliate link from 200 episodes ago. And I'll see new charges coming in of people who obviously heard me talking in this section about StreamYard. And I don't make a lot of money off of it. Obviously, it accumulates after so many people start to sign up. And we did get 10,000 downloads on Spotify just last month. So the podcast is growing. The old episodes are starting to pick up. So I just like to continue to remind people about StreamYard, because obviously we couldn't do what we're doing tonight without it. And many of you listen to this and you decide, hey, I want to start a live stream too. And so you can do it yourself. Just go to StreamYard. But of course, if you don't want to do it yourself, that's actually what Reveting helps you with is this is our flagship show. We've been going live for over almost 4 years now. And so we help other businesses go live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and other channels. So if you don't want to use StreamYard, maybe you want to work with us, but we'll get into that a little bit later because I want to introduce you to our amazing guests. Welcome to the show. We have Andrea and Terry here with us. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So I warned you, good old fashioned Wednesday style. We want to know about you. The audience can go on LinkedIn. They can, find your resume and all of your professional experience there. But like, what makes you a real human? What makes you tick? People buy from people, not brands. So in 2 minutes or less, Andrea, could you kick us off and tell us about yourself?
Yeah, so I was born on a winter's day in Wisconsin. I'm an Aquarius, which I'm pretty sure is the best astrological sign that there is. And I grew up in Wisconsin my whole life. And then I'll fast forward here to post-college. I went to a real small little college for marketing and art. And then I thought, I'm going to work in advertising because that was how big my world was. And I couldn't get a job in advertising in Chicago. So I was like, hey, Jessie, can we swear openly here?
Yeah, it should be safe. I don't have Facebook connected.
Okay. So I was like, fuck the cold. And in order to be able to survive, I wanted to live in California, but I didn't have the money or the connections or any job prospects, really. I had no skill sets to get a California job. So I defaulted to next to California, which is Arizona. So I spent the first few years of my life running an art gallery down here in Phoenix, Arizona, which is where I fell in love. Not instinctively with database marketing. So I sold dog art and I would collect what kind of dog you had and then basically market and sell you on the fact that like my artist had just painted a golden retriever. I didn't realize that it was database marketing at the time. But that's where I fell in love with the idea of databases and tapping into data to get the right message to the right person at the right time, which today we all kind of broadly say is marketing automation. So in 2011, I became a marketing automation consultant, did a bunch of Marketo and Salesforce implementations, optimizations, and had an exit at that company. It was called LeadMD, which introduced me to the guy that I work for now. And so I currently work at GNW, again, MarTech firm, implementing, optimizing MarTech. And I mostly specialize in GEO or generative engine optimization, getting you placed on LLMs.
We like to be placed on LLMs these days.
Yeah.
Great conversation that we talk about a lot actually here. We talk about GEO all the time. We don't have it in the topics tonight, but it might come up. Okay. Terry, how about you? Could you please tell us your full life story? Here we go.
I will sure do my best. Born and raised in rural Ohio, probably in the middle of the cornfield somewhere. Lived on a farm growing up. Learned work ethic from my parents, who are still working to this day in their 70s, probably harder than me. Grew up in the trades, so plumbing, electrical, roofing, construction. Learned all of those things. First job was at 14. Stayed really, really busy, working full time and doing homeschool as a teenager. Short stint in college trying to find myself. I was unsuccessful, and spent some time trying to figure out what business that I wanted to run or start. And I got into fitness. Moved to Nashville in 2009, grew our business, was able to grow it, scale it, franchise it, and then eventually sell it. Did the same thing with the construction business here. I actually did that to help my dad retire, which he also didn't do. So it's still working. And managed to buy Nashville Fit magazine about 5 years ago in the Music City Fit Expo, and turned it into a media company and advertising platform to help businesses really of all scale. If I'm honest, I really love working with small business. The hunger is there, the passion is there, the personality is there. That is very life-giving to me. So I spend my time these days curating podcasts on our network. We have a very large podcast network, as well as doing business coaching. I'm a creative. I love being, working on the magazine side of things. I'm also married for 25 years, 4 kids and 2 grandchildren. So, that's me in a nutshell.
Wow. 4 kids and how many grandchildren?
2.
Okay. That's amazing.
2 little granddaughters.
Aw. How old are they?
One is 18 months and the other's almost 4.
Wow. Okay. Young granddaughters. So cool. Oh, yeah. I love it. So behind all the business talk, we're all just actual human beings. It's always a good reminder. But let's get into our topic. So our first topic, I believe, is your topic, right, Andrea? I know we went through this back and forth for each show. Okay. So could you kick us off on why clear messaging drives revenue?
Yeah, so this does tie into the GEO work that I've been doing. And the interesting thing about the robots is that it's really hard to massage what they come back with, right? So like once you start looking at the way that you are positioned in the marketplace, especially in comparison to your competitors through GEO, which just is like a level set. A lot of people are calling GEO a lot of different things. So generative engine optimization or answer engine optimization, AEO. I've seen some new acronyms coming out, but essentially the idea is like, how do the LLMs, the places where people are going to search for and understand topics like ChatGPT or Claude, how do they represent you and your brand? It's the measurement of that. It's the, frankly, manipulation of that and the improvement of that over time. So what you want to do is get mentioned a lot and you want to get mentioned at the top. So it's basically the same thing that you've optimized for years in Google through SEO, search engine optimization, except now with this new technology and the way that the robots see the world. And so the work that we're doing in that space highlights how terrible most B2B brands are at managing their reputation at a like global internet level. And the biggest area of opportunity there is absolutely in messaging and positioning. And it is costing a lot of companies a lot of eyeballs right now, where the interesting thing is we work with really big companies that are incumbent in a lot of categories that are very well known. CRMs, marketing automation, and their smallest competitors actually are often have higher visibility, more share of voice, and a higher citation simply because the way that they talk about their product to especially niche markets is so clear and straightforward. And so I think in the enterprise, and again, I work mostly with B2B companies, in enterprise B2B, the things that we have historically kind of gotten away with, which is hiding our enterprise pricing, right? Like call us or fill out this form in order to get your pricing, in order to talk to a sales rep, the hiding of our product roadmaps, like the hiding of our competitive differentiators in a very straightforward way in product sheets that are not publicly available. Like all that stuff is hurting a lot of enterprise brands right now. And so Brene Brown has a very famous saying, which is clear is kind. And I think like clear messaging is frankly, or the lack thereof, clear messaging is costing a lot of B2B companies money right now.
Oh, yes, in so many ways. Yeah, absolutely. I see you nodding too, Terry. So before I say anything, what are your thoughts?
I 100% agree. You see it, you really see it all over every industry. I don't know, it may be a little bit more prevalent in tech. It seems as though they're almost trying to impress their peers and not attract clients. You tend to muddy the waters a little bit too much. Simplification is smart. Simplification does attract, and it doesn't take away from your skill set and your ability to actually perform the duties for your clients. I think that you're 100% right. Like there's beauty in simplicity, people.
Yeah. And so it's interesting you say that, because one of our bigger clients said, I came back with all these recommendations about how, you're confusing the robots essentially. And she said to me, I totally get it. I totally agree. But we write all of our content for one person. Anyone who have a guess who they write their content for?
for themselves.
The CEO.
Right. That
The
tracks.
CEO. She said, we write all of our content for our CEO. If I
Yeah.
put something on our homepage that he does not resonate with, he asks me to change it. So I do think, though, part of what the strategy with her in particular is we use the GEO results to show him just how detrimental that is, right? Like no CEO of a major company wants to see that these little ankle biters in their category are beating them. Like that's embarrassing. You know what I mean? So I think that embarrassment and the data that we can show at least help facilitate the right conversation in a way that I really have not seen happening in lots of other ways that marketers have tried to facilitate this conversation before.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I think that's amazing.
I find that a lot of the time businesses without clear messaging, they have a hard time repeating sales even, like, because to me, product market fit comes along with having a clear message. Like, you know what to say in order to close the deal. So like, we'll find that like people come and work with Reviting and we help businesses go live on LinkedIn, which is sort of a tactic. And we will do our best to implement it, but it's also based on your marketing strategy. So if you don't have the right message, you don't know who you're talking to, then running any kind of tactic is just going to amplify some sort of problem. So I don't know. I find if people are finding that it's difficult for them to close business, you know, it's probably time to go back to their messaging. And maybe they know exactly what they do and it's like super clear, but maybe you're not able to talk to the pain, or maybe you haven't really been able to define the problem. So I don't know. When I think of clear messaging, I think of product market fit, and working with clients who know their message is so much easier to help them as a marketing agency than those who don't.
I had a conversation just the other day with a firm that wants to work with us and provide some, higher level things that we don't do. And he must have spent 7 or 8 minutes explaining all of the things they do. And then they'd ask a question and then I would answer the question. They would come back in with another 7 or 8 minutes of more things they did. And it got to the point where they were like, well, what sounds good to you? And it's like, well, you said a lot of things. I'm from the 30-minute call, 5 minutes in, there was something that attracted me. Now I'm trying to remember what that was. And they ended up saying, well, why don't you just tell us what your needs are? And we'll tell you how we can address them. I'm like, that is one interesting way to sell.
Yeah.
Not very efficient.
Yeah, exactly. They're just like, yeah, that's crazy way to sell.
Yeah, you're putting all the load on your client when you do that.
Right. Do you want your client to define your business? Like,
exactly. How
do you decide who's a good lead and who's not a good lead? Because part of sales is kind of filtering out some of the bad business. But exactly I digress. Right. Let's get into transformational relationships over transactions. So important in the age of AI. Could you kick us off on this, Terry?
Yeah, I think it kind of bounces off of Andrea's point there, where clear messaging, what clear messaging does is it's helping the client understand, which can build trust and certainly build loyalty. The whole idea about transformational relationships is, sell from a space of actually understanding the person, right? I used to say this to my trainers years ago, is that they may come in and they may do their gym tour and they may hear about your services and your experience, but they don't like your price. And at the end of the day, whether they like your price or not, they should still leave your friend. If they leave your friend, what ends up happening is they'll go to the next gym or next studio or, big fitness center, and they'll realize that vibe's not off, or that vibe is off, or they're not aligning with the trainer that they hired. And they'll remember your name. They'll be like, man, I didn't love that price, but I really like that person. So the idea is about building long-term relationships that outlive the transaction, right? So that we're not just basically taking from one another, that we are actually delivering on actually true value. And sometimes true value is really just being an ear for frustration. Sometimes it's pivoting your own services to align more with their needs. in a way that maybe you didn't think about. So it's checking in, it's having conversations, it's talking to the person, it's actually addressing their fears and concerns, and being able to answer that from a human perspective, and not always with the product, but you do have to make money, right? So there's that does matter. So it's value. Friendship is value. It is loyalty. You're not selling when you're doing that. You're making friends, and that's fun. Like when you're actually really curious and you want to hear about other people's businesses, it's life-giving.
100%. Yeah, that's the best part about business, is, part of just getting to know other entrepreneurs. Like we're all out here just trying to like figure it out and,
Right.
Build other relationships and learn together, but also like being able to help people like your customers.
You're being vulnerable when you reach out for help, right? Like when you're going
Yes.
after a system or a product and you're putting yourself out there to quote unquote be sold to. It's kind of terrifying, and it can put you back on your heels. It's intimidating on some levels. So giving that client that feeling of safety, right? Empathy, when they enter quote unquote the chat of sales and
Yeah.
understanding your product. That's just human.
It's just human. What's your take on all this, Andrea?
I disagree totally. No, I don't. I would love to, but I unfortunately do not. Yeah, I had a couple of thoughts. Like one of the things that I always tell young people is I know that there are a lot of humans that really despise LinkedIn. I very much like LinkedIn, but that is because I think that, like anything, LinkedIn is how you curate it to fit the kind of life that you want to lead. And I think that really LinkedIn is the best networking platform on the planet for you to connect with people that you just meet at random conferences or throughout your day. And I truly believe that kind of networking that you're talking about here is career insurance, right? Like, especially in a space like you're in, where you're talking about somebody who has a gym or Orange Theory or something like that, like the walks of life that you get introduced to there, like I think anybody selling into anyone really has as much to gain from that other person as they do from you, right? So like the thing that I kind of can't stand, I'm in SaaS, and I find so many SaaS sellers that literally are just like, well, I'm selling marketing technology right now, so I need marketers, but tomorrow I might be selling something to HR professionals. So like, and I was like, oh, so you don't think that all those marketers know HR people? Or you don't think that, like, you're not seeing this as relationship building, you're seeing it very transactional. And so you're getting transaction back. And I think that that's true. Like when you really have, and people say this all the time about content marketing too, like you need to actually be helpful to people. And when you come from a space, not to get like woo woo about it, but like when you come from a truly open, helpful space, when you give to them, you will get it back. Just the energy that you provide will get you back and benefit you in the long run, even if it's not meeting your short-term goals of like, oh, I didn't close that sale today. Be open and curious, and you'll get it. I would also just say that I get a lot of pushback when I talk about networking from people that are like, well, I'm an introvert. I am one of the biggest introverts that exists on this planet. I guarantee you. I do not like doing things like this. Like this doesn't fill me up. I'm going to be exhausted after this and have to go lie under my cover. Like I really think that like you can use whatever excuse you want to not go put yourself out there because it's uncomfortable. But like really there's no excuse. Like meet people, chat with them in LinkedIn chat, just be helpful, reach out on an ongoing basis when you don't need something. The minute that you reach out to people because you need them is the minute that they're not going to respond to you. So like you have to be nurturing this relationship like any other relationship in your life. Professional relationships are no different.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly that.
Exactly that. Yeah. I mean,
sorry, I wish we could disagree. Maybe the next half.
Partially why I really like personal branding and like live streaming, because it's more human, more interactive. It's kind of vulnerable. You know, we're out here on real time. Don't know if we can drop the F-bomb or not, you know, stuff like that. But like
that is part of my personal brand.
Hey, and you know what?
I'm relatable, you know.
People who cuss, actually, there's like research that we close more deals.
And we're smarter. I'm just saying. if you're a pious person and you're like, oh, I never swear. Well, the research shows that those of us that swear are smarter. So
yeah, so
stick that in your pipe.
exactly. But yeah, no, all really great topics. And we've got 2 more awesome topics. We've got Raja here, or Raha Walia. That is true regarding her being.
That's my boss. Don't even pay attention to him.
Oh, okay. Tell us more.
Thanks
We
for
want
your
to know
support.
more. I love it. See, this is why we like having you stream on your channel, because then your audience gets to see this too. Which, by the way, if you're tuning in, I see there's about 30 people total across channels right now. Let us know you're here. Drop a comment. Let us know where you're tuning in from, what you think about the conversation. We've talked about why clear messaging drives revenue, transformational relationships over transaction. Next, we're going to be getting into strategy without execution doesn't scale. So let us know in the comments what you think about that. We're going to get into that right after this brief message from our sponsor.
This is Mike, also known as Clean with Mike on Twitter. Mike hired a virtual assistant from Cherry Assistant about 2 years ago. Now he has a $50K per month business fully managed by a remote operator in South Africa. His VA from South Africa does the following: closing inbound leads on the phone, Yelp and Google and Facebook, manages his CRM and Go High Level, deals with rescheduling, cancellations, any issues, hires and manages the cleaners, and sends them daily reports and updates. Mike has a fully cash flowing business managed by a remote operator for only $8 an hour. You can also hire a US equivalent worker in the Philippines, South Africa, Latin America for a fraction of the cost with Cherry Assistant. Be like Mike and grow your business with offshore staff.
And we've got one more brief ad and we'll be right back. At Reviting, we help B2B founders, executives, brands turn their live streaming into a real revenue channel. One live stream turns into a podcast. It turns into a social clip. It turns into email content like a newsletter and actual sales conversations. You get to have a lot of conversations with people when you have a podcast or a live stream like this. And if you want to be known, trusted, and remembered in your industry without being online 24/7, worrying about your posting, this is what we do. Just head on over to reviting.com and let's build your show.
I want to give a quick testimonial for the Reviting team and Jessie. I was really nervous about doing lives. And so thanks to Jessie and her team, I've now been doing them for, I think, 7 or 8 months now. The other thing is they very much have helped me increase my reach and online presence. So thank you, Reviting and Jessie.
One of the problems that we struggle with is getting our brand out there. What Jessie and her team have been able to do for us is to take advantage of LinkedIn and the idea of going live on LinkedIn and using that platform to its fullest extent through the way they're able to take the live event and break it down into bite-sized posts. Your team shows up very organized. They were able to take what was limited in terms of how our brand shows up, but actually turn that into visualizations for the different shows, the video clips that are being taken, as well as the content within the posts themselves.
Jessie, I love what you and the team do. You make it so easy for me to get in, have a meaningful conversation with some amazing guests, and then watch the post-production. But I've been picking up 50 followers a day just because that content is resonating so well. And I've had a number of people reach out to me who want to be guests on the show. So it's working across a lot of different channels for me, and I can't thank you enough.
We gotta love the WinsDay testimonials. But anyway, let's get into these hot topics. Okay. Strategy without execution doesn't scale. Can you kick us off on that one, Andrea?
Yeah. So GNW is a MarTech firm. And so so this is like sort of an ironic topic for me because my title is Chief Strategy Officer. So you'd think that I'd really love strategy, but I actually despise most people's definition of strategy or usage of it because I find that a lot of executives like to maintain their strategy. I'm strategy. I mostly focus on strategy, which basically means like I don't care about any of the details, which in my opinion is what makes or breaks a tactic in all actuality. So like, I do think that, and this is like very common for our big agencies, right? Like the big four agencies of Accenture's size, it's very classic. Like they'll deliver you pay them 400 grand, they'll deliver you a 400-page deck. And 90% of their ideas in there are totally unrealistic because either your tech stack doesn't support it or your team has no idea how to do it. And I think that like it fundamentally, GNW always focuses on like, okay, but like really, how are we going to get this done? And I think even technologies tend to sell all of the bells and whistles and the dream of what could be possible, right? The art of the possible. And then there is actual reality. There is plausibility in that, which if you have enough time and budget, you can make a lot of that happen. And then there's like probable, right? Like this is how most people end up using a lot of these technologies. And I think that that's like back to the beginning of, you know, where I come from, like just my roots say like, let's just be practical about this, right? Like the down home Wisconsinite in me is like, yeah, that sounds great. It's never going to work. Let's just get something live. And so that's really what we mean when we say that strategy without execution is what there's a statement on our website. There's like a man, Thomas Edison, maybe has some sort of statement about its hallucination. So yeah, I think that the point of this is that execution is critical, and understanding also the technology and all of the logistics and all of those little details either make or break your strategy. Oh, I think you might be muted, Jessie.
You are muted.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just agreeing there. But what do you think here, Terry?
I think you're 100% right. I think the strategy, yeah, I think I liked your comment, Jessie. Like your comment said it so clearly. You can hide behind strategy, which because it's going to bring out clarity, and that's the trick, right? So yeah, I'm with you. I think you're 100% right. There, it forces clarity. I misquoted that entirely.
Yeah, no, thank you. It just like came to me, so I had to like type it out in the comments there really fast. Which, if you're tuning in, we want to hear from you too. We've got a quiet crowd out there. Just say hi in the comments, and we'll say hi back. But yeah, no, I completely agree here. Strategy without execution, gosh, you gotta take action. And I feel like sometimes people are afraid to take messy action.
Well, and I'll give you another example, right? Like we're working with somebody on a strategy. I would say like there's also the difference between capital S strategy and lowercase s strategy, right? Like the strategy to create a new product or a new feature for your product or enter a new geography, right? Like we're going to start selling to APAC. That is like capital S strategy. Pricing strategies of going into a freemium model where you're going to do a PLG motion, like that's capital S strategy. And then I would say something like, how are we going to use lives to generate leads? That's lower S strategy, right? It's still important. It's strategic in a different kind of way, but very, very finite. And I think that what ends up happening a lot of times, even in lowercase s strategy, is people invest a tremendous amount of time on the big master plan, right? Like I'm going to create myself an annual content calendar. Like I hate things like that, especially in the age of AI. Like I think that the thing that not a lot of people talk about with AI is not necessarily about even how it can help us execute better, faster. It is about how it is changing the fundamental way that our buyers see the world, right? So like in the GEO example, people in B2B no longer go to Google first, like at all. Everyone at this point is going into an LLM and asking for a short list of vendors, asking for your pricing. Like what AI has done to buying behaviors has completely shifted. And therefore, if you're working off of a content plan that you created in January of this year, I think you are way, way, way behind the 8 ball because the market has already shifted. So I just think that what AI has done to marketing is force us to be in market really rapidly, learning much faster, and it makes learning faster, which is what's great about AI. But like that is more of the behavior that marketing teams need to demonstrate, is like they still are, especially at enterprises, getting really bogged down with the plan and all of the little strategy components of every single tactic. And it's like, we got to get into the market. Like, I don't care what we think is going to work and what we don't, because the only opinion that matters is the one that's giving us money. So like, I need to get into the market right now and see if this is going to resonate with people or not.
Yeah, that's a great point. It almost feels like chronic analyzation. We're always reforming and correcting and changing, and never moving. And
right, it never gets out into the actual market. You're just constantly internally shifting little things or arguing about whether this word or that word, and it's like
analysis by paralysis. You just gotta ship it. Just get it out.
Yeah, that's right.
I see the same thing with like live streams. It'll be like, you know, we record this live stream and it's like, it is already out there because it went live, you know, but then we were repurposing it to podcast and it's like, oh, but I said this. It's like, it's a 40-minute conversation. You said a whole lot of things. Like, just get it out there.
I mean, come on. In B2B, like, you'd be lucky if 100 human beings ever see this. Like, that is just the reality we live in.
Easing to the algorithm. Just get your titles and your keywords out there and just distribute your content.
Perfection is an illusion.
Yeah, like you are the main character in your story, but not in anyone else's. It's actually really hard for anyone else to give a fuck about you. Like, it's hard, you know, like
really hard.
It is.
Yeah. Everyone should give a fuck about me. And if you don't, like, you can go subscribe to my newsletter right there, reveting.com.
Nice segue.
I mean,
wonderful.
It couldn't have gone better.
Yeah, give a fuck about me. What the fuck? I'm going live every goddamn week. Pardon my French. But here we are.
You just made a promo that you need to run. Right there, that was it.
Yeah. What minute marker are we? I gotta send that to my video.
I believe it was 36.
Okay, yeah, we're at about 36 minutes when it might drop all my F-bombs and
that was awesome.
But yeah, no, before we get into collaboration is required for growth. Any more on strategy without execution doesn't scale?
I feel like you can stay on this subject. I mean, you can spend an hour.
Man. Yeah.
That's a good one, Andrea. Love it.
It was a good one. I'll be honest, like we've lost business, and you know, like you can talk about whatever. Maybe we didn't have their videos like organized in some folders or something like that. We like screwed up, or like maybe the guest canceled, you know, like there's things that happen. But the ones that do, we look back and it's like, I don't know if any marketing tactic would have helped that, because like the strategy just like wasn't there. Like, who are we even targeting? What was the offer? Does anyone know how you sign up for that person's program?
Yeah.
Like,
well, and so like I'll give you just a few quick examples that speak to that point. One, LinkedIn did research about how often, because they can see who seller. So in the LinkedIn product, you basically have sellers in Sales Navigator creating lists and targeting people into their LinkedIn mail, right? And then you have marketers over in the campaign product running campaigns. Both of these teams are creating lists. Those lists never talk to each other in the system. Shout out LinkedIn. You could make this easier for everyone if they did. But they did research comparing the people on both of those lists. And I'll scrounge it up, but it's abysmal. It's something like under 20% of lists have the same people. So you have marketing targeting one group, sales targeting the other. And that's exactly to your point. It doesn't surprise me at all that when you talk to clients about who we're targeting on this LinkedIn Live, they can't just give you a list of job titles. Doesn't surprise me at all, because sales and marketing teams are not aligned on just the very basics of like, who would you say should buy our stuff? The second thing is, I don't know why. My husband owns his own business, and we talk about this all the time. I don't know why people are making it so hard for me to give you money.
Right.
I don't know why I have to talk to a salesperson when I've already bought this product 4 times at 4 different companies for 4 different clients. Like, why do I have to talk to your sales rep? I know exactly what I want. I probably know more about the product than they do. Like, Don't force me into your cycle. allow me to have my own cycle, which is the same thing, not to bring everything back to GEO, but I just love this topic so much because that's the big thing that happens with GEO, right? Is like, you want to control the pricing conversation. You don't anymore. Like, you never did, but you at least were able to pretend you did with your executives because you have a pricing page. But now GEO, like, LLMs will just lie on you, right? So like, either you tell your prospects what your stuff costs, or when they ask an LLM, they're going to get it from some random Reddit thread, or it's going to straight hallucinate and make it up. And you might not like what it says. You're pretty likely not to like what it says. So like, you need to be more transparent and treat buyers, I think, with a lot more respect.
Amen.
Because they're in charge.
They are in charge, 100%.
Was that a clap I heard?
It
Yes.
did sound like a clap.
It sounded a little.
I'm imagining like the 18-month-old back there. That's one of the grandkids, you know? I totally agree. Yes, Andrea.
I don't know what you're saying, but I agree.
Yay.
We do, yes.
Yep, 100%. 100%. All right, well, let's transition into collaboration is required for growth. Man, because I can really stay isolated as a founder. I can just be
I think we all can.
introverted. Yeah. So, but I need to collaborate to grow. So tell me about that, Terry.
This kind of comes from my own like personal story. Before, and I'll just take it back to 2016. Like, before I owned the magazine, we made it a media company and did all that fun stuff. We siloed ourselves in our gym, in our boutique fitness studio, and I guess not intentionally. And then enter the founder of Nashville Fit here locally. His name is Ryan Freebing, and he got the ball started in 2015, and then I observed what he was doing in 2016, and I thought, man, this guy's doing what we all should be doing. And that's getting out of our box, right? It's getting out there and finding a way to, maybe have some fun in our industry with our industry peers, maybe learn from them, certainly, build relationships. And he was doing a great job of that. He was getting all of us gym owners out for competitions, for social events, really just all kinds of stuff. And I thought, that is such a great idea, because we become a family, right? In a local fitness industry here in Nashville, Tennessee, which is, it's a big city, but it's got a very personal, very small feel inside the fitness industry. We're coming up on our Music City Fit Expo, largest fitness expo in the South, 10,000 people, 150 vendors. And it is a fitness family reunion for us, because we have collaborated. We've all worked together. We've been in each other's gyms, or we're taking our buddy's supplement that he developed, or whatever it is. We're coming alongside them, and we're finding a way to work together. And you see this now even in the bourbon industry. I do like me some bourbon. That you've seen the drop off of sales post COVID, and with non-alcoholic drinks, THC drinks, things like that coming on the market. You've got some of these legacy brands, large brands, like scrambling and shutting down production. You've got smaller, more agile brands able to weather it a little bit because they're less leveraged. But what you're really starting to see is some really cool collaborations. As opposed to them trying to put each other out of business, they're like, well, what if we create a product that boosts both of our sales? That type of stuff, people figure it out, is money. I like to draw the comparison to the music industry. You go see your favorite band, and you're going to watch 3 other bands open up for said band or artist that are similar but not exactly the same. That's collaboration. That's exactly what we're talking about. If you can find a way to engage with somebody in your industry, and maybe it's just to vent about terrible clients. Maybe it's, you don't like what's coming down from the government, or the policies that you have to adhere to. Or maybe you create a really cool super product that you both can win at delivering to your clients, and your clients will win because of it, because you actually worked together. That's the stuff we're talking about.
Yeah, 100%. What are some of the best collaborations you've ever been in, Andrea?
Me? I don't
Yeah.
collaborate with the enemy. Why would I do that?
No frenemies?
No, I mean, I do think your competitors most likely have the same common enemy. And it is fun to vent with them. And I also think that no business is exactly the same, right? So Terry's kind of talking about what I assume is like an agency that was trying to sell him. And agencies are sort of notorious for this, where it's like, we can do everything. What would you say you need? Oh, we do that. What industries do you focus on? Well, what industry are you in? Oh my God, we have plenty of clients in that industry. So like agencies are kind of notoriously very bad at saying what we do and do not do well. But like there are answers to those things, and our competitors likely do something better. And I think it goes back to the relationship point and the transactional nature of the way that most people see buyers and sellers. But like the truth is that we give business to our competitors or people who are in businesses adjacent to ours all of the time, because like we're just not the best fit. And if we're not going to crush an engagement, I don't want to have anything to do with it, because especially in all businesses that I've ever heard of, like a bad reputation will spread way faster than a good reputation. So like,
Right.
I don't need a client that I can't service and crush, because they are going to go tell 10 people I did a bad job. And so I think it's important to know the competition really well, to get to understand what they are exceptional at, so that you look like a good partner or resource for somebody to say like, hey, we're not really the best fit for you. Like you should go talk to these people. I really think you're a better fit for them. And that can often even just be a vibe. You know what I mean? Like I sometimes, like we quite obviously have like a more down home, like if you have a lot of bureaucracy and you don't want to talk about it in a real way, like my team is probably not the best for you. You know what I mean? Like, cause we're going to want to get shit done, and ideally fast. Like we work with enterprises, and like getting shit done slow in an enterprise is not that big of a deal, as long as the team that we're working with directly want to have like real honest conversations about what we can and cannot get done. That's how we operate. But there are plenty of agencies that want to blow smoke up your ass and send you a 400-page PowerPoint deck. Like I can give you those too.
It's true. Yeah, no one wants your PowerPoint deck anymore. Yeah, no, these are all great. I think of BDEX. I'm a fractional CMO there, and they're the consumer data exchange platform. So they have frenemies that they collaborate. So, Snowflake and Lotame and LiveRamp, they're all different data companies, and they're all in competition, but they all also support each other because they buy and sell data from each other. So it's interesting. And I think that sometimes your competitors can be really great collaborators too. Like Melanie Borden, I wouldn't necessarily call her a competitor, because she's on a different level. She's also not doing live streaming. She just helps executives build their personal brand on LinkedIn. But her and I have built a relationship where we could have just like gone out there and been like, oh my gosh, you're doing the same thing as me. I'm going to stay away from you. We kind of leaned into it. And, like if I have someone who maybe I feel like she would help better, then I'll send them to her, and vice versa. I think it's good to have collaboration, even with your competitors and your frenemies. But collaboration, even like internally, I feel like with teams, it can get lost, especially in this day and age with like remote work and, AI.
I was going to say, everyone like thinks that collaboration means talking to Claude now. Like, yeah, exactly.
It's true.
It's not exactly the same thing.
Oh gosh.
I mean,
It's
you can
definitely
ask Claude to be like your focus group and be like multiple people, but
yeah.
yeah.
Sometimes, I think the collaboration within the company for certain individuals can feel intimidating. I've had that conversation within my own organization where, hey, like we want to get all the creatives together and let's hyper focus on making this thing better. And then I got a phone call from one of my staff members, and she's like, "Gee, I just have to ask, like, are you mad at me?" I was like, "No, why is that?" And she's, "Well, you're asking to, kind of come in on this project." And I was like, "We were coming in on this project to help you make it better, like, to enhance it, not to rob you." it's interesting internally for sure. Externally, there's no way you're going to be able to service everybody on this planet. And if you're working really hard to get a lead and you're holding on to that lead with white knuckles, that desperation is going to show, and they're going to let you know, like, hey, your desperation's showing. That's going to come out in all kinds of ways.
Yeah, it definitely will. You don't want to reek of desperation.
No.
All right. Well, this has been a great conversation with our 4 topics, but we got to make sure we get into the guru of the week. So let's get the guru of the week. Ooh, the guru of the week. Ooh. Yeah, for 300 episodes, I sang that every week. But I'm going to pass it over to both of you so you can tell us about your guru of the week and who we should go follow.
I'm going to let Terry go first. I feel like I've been going first the whole day. So please, Terry, after you.
Well, I will take that honor and I will deliver. My guru of the week is Tiny Irwin. You can find him on LinkedIn, and Tiny is a good friend of mine. He's a next level executive coach, but he's also the owner and curator of the Southern Whiskey Society, and he and I do work together on that in all of my spare time. He's a good dude. He's got a great heart, and his 30,000 top-down view on business and how business affects people is inspirational. And I think everybody can stand to learn something there from him in that sense. Good dude.
That sounds great. So I'm like B2B marketing girly. And so I have Carrie Lou Dietrich. I actually don't know how to pronounce her last name, which I feel terribly, but like, she's like Carrie Lou. So you just know her. She's like Shaq, I guess.
All right.
But yeah, Carrie Lou so she is part of the team that took Atlassian public. She was on their marketing team. And and she's like a fractional kind of advisor in marketing for lots of the big B2B brands that you know. And one of the things that she does exceptionally is that she will do these like deep research projects and then post about them. I think she posts on Medium, and then we'll post about them on LinkedIn. And so she doesn't post a lot, but every time she posts, it is full of incredible information. I would also because I am a big information person. I think that, as I said, marketing is changing constantly because buyers are changing constantly. And so I really think it's important for any marketer worth their salt that they are constantly following people who are publishing really interesting, insightful commentary about marketing. And I think Carrie Lou's perspective is just very, very unique, and her ability to take the time to really think through these things and explain her perspective is unique in the marketplace. So I love her.
I'm going to give her a follow.
Absolutely. I'm going to give both of them a follow. They both sound really awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. And before we go, we just want to learn a little bit more about you, who both of you serve, how you serve them, and if they could be served by you, how do they reach you? We'll go with Terry first this time.
Oh, man. 2 times. Put it on the spot. I serve the small business to mid-sized business owner, that entrepreneur out there who is they've gotten this far, but they need help getting to the next level. I love serving them. I love helping them out, and it brings me life to do so. Do it every day. Y'all can find me on LinkedIn under my name, Terry. It's Terry Barga, which looks like Barga, but is actually Bargy. You can also find me on Nashville Fit on Instagram, or KTerryB on my personal Instagram.
Nice. I'll go next. So I'm Andrea Lechner-Becker. You're going to have to copy and paste it. Okay. It's a mouthful. Most people think it rhymes, but it doesn't quite. So it's really obnoxious. I got married and I hyphenated, and I've thus made everyone's life miserable. However, the good thing about it is I am literally the only Andrea Lechner-Becker on the planet. So I'm impossible to mistake for somebody else. And I am always on LinkedIn. Again, GNW, I've talked a lot about what we do, but I'll just reiterate that we love MarTech. And I, in particular, if you want to talk to me on the phone, I pretty much exclusively do GEO projects these days, which I obviously am all hyped up and passionate about. And so, yeah, I'm on LinkedIn all the time talking about all of these things. Don't go to my Instagram because it's private. So LinkedIn is the only place that you're going to be able to get a hold of me. So DM me there, and I accept all invitations, right? I love connecting with people on LinkedIn. I am not a snob at all about that. Although I do have my profile set. Here's just a tip, right? I find that so many people don't know how LinkedIn has their stuff structured. Once you move your profile to this like influencer profile or whatever they do at a certain level, it will automate to like follow. Don't just follow me. Like click the 3 buttons, go over to connect and connect with me. I don't need a message. Just connect with me. I'll connect with you back. That way we can actually message each other. Otherwise, you won't be able to message me unless you pay LinkedIn for it, which I don't want you to do. So just do the extra 3 buttons. I'm sorry you have to do that. I didn't know it was going to happen when I changed my profile like 4 years ago when I did that. So that's where you reach out to me.
I love it. Yes, such a
Appreciate
good
all that help.
You don't need to send a DM. Like we don't need any more DM spam on LinkedIn, everybody.
No, and don't pay LinkedIn. Like I said, I got beef with LinkedIn and how they have everything structured. I do like LinkedIn, but I feel like here's the problem with me. I think if I ran all of the product in the world, everything would be so much better. Like LinkedIn as a product would be better.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Yeah, if I ran Adobe's product, it would be better. Salesforce, I could fix in like 4.5 days. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I got lots of ideas. Yeah,
100%. Well, we can fix all of the SaaS problems in the world in the next 3 minutes. No, I'm just kidding. But really, this has been a really good episode, whether we fixed any SaaS or not. That's a note to SaaS to get off their SaaS, because honestly, I think SaaS is going to die because of Claude, Codex. They're just going to anyone can go out and copy your SaaS. So it's just going to come down to personal brand, in my opinion. I digress.
That's a hot take.
That's
that
a
is
hot
take.
Oh,
That's a great thing to end on right there.
And that I will do. I will see you backstage, but everyone else, I will see you next week for another great episode. Peace out, everyone.